Hello and welcome to the Martian Enterprise Tournament. We are at round 5 between NC Game Wizard, Mighty Scroll, Lucket, and Marlon Tell. We are on Mars and I'm Lahi. Casting with me is Trapping Win. Looking at the map,
Hello.
we have 8 expensive power and expensive steel, so people will have to consider a fast way into getting to power, which means having access to silicon, carbon, or nice steel production. Or they can find scavenger. Is there a good scavenger found? Yes, there are. Yes, people can find scavenger here, scavenger around here, maybe around here. So a lot of scavenger founds that I can see. Other founds. We are seeing first scavenger found from Marlon Tell, and followed by NC Game Wizard on Metal Mine, or on Iron Patch. And we will be seeing, I believe we are going to see 2 more scavengers. That looks like the most easiest choice right now. Or maybe a steel user. Oh, Mighty Scroll found a robot there. And another... Oh, we are waiting on Lucky to find. So people started on a standard iron and steel and some carbon, and Scroll did not go for iron, but that is okay with the price of iron. So Scroll instead goes for aluminum. So currently people are not securing this iron, so Scroll does not have any problem. But in situations where people are looking into ways to punish those players, people can buy into this iron and making Mighty Scrolls found more difficult. But Scroll does upgrade right away and will be able to secure these iron mines. Power already soaring to 107 and 8. I wonder who is going for the first.
And we do have some additional modules built, which increases the demand on power. And what do you think Lacket is considering here?
I am not sure. Lacket. I don't think Lacket was AFK because they just read it before. So maybe they're having trouble finding a good spot to lay down.
A scavenger HQ has been
well,
upgraded. A robotics HQ
well, yeah, the game will keep going though. Oh, there we go.
There we go. There's a robot found.
Decide on a robot. Yeah.
In fact, at this stage of the game, I would be tempted to go right into power, go for double solar panel or double wind turbine, and make power money right away.
Yeah, definitely. The silicon is really cheap. Malontel racing ahead in some upgrades, and let's see who got the early claims. They can really set the tone of a game. So Mighty Squirrel is the one who got the claim, and Racket got one. I guess when he found it, he didn't have any cooldown at all. That will help him catch up with it.
So people are looking into wind turbines. Mighty Scroll with double wind turbine, and Malontail also with double wind turbines.
Yeah, and NC claiming 2 Geo from events. I don't love this. That's 240 steel, which costs 100 each right now.
Yeah.
And that's gonna take many minutes of income to afford. And by the time you have them built, you have no idea where power is gonna be. Probably a lot lower than it is right now.
Yeah, Geo is a great long-term tile, saving them claims. However, Geo is very slow to build, and it's also 1 Geo costs 120 still, and HQ4 upgrade costs 240 still. So it's almost half an upgrade, discounting electronics and aluminum.
A robotics HQ has been upgraded.
Yeah, so this works better if you're a nomad, scab, or expansive, who only pays half steel.
Yep.
I mean, I guess this is fine, but you should also go into solar panels. You can take advantage of this, especially after the explosion at the colony.
Yeah.
And while Mighty Skull will be happy, he is further going into additional wind turbine, just like Cat did. Almost the exact thing the Cat did yesterday.
Yeah.
Just sell steel, buy carbon, make a line, have a good in the middle. Very, very solid choice.
And he's making power money.
But this is what they teach at Clippy Academy, because they're both in the same team. Yeah, I like this a lot. And
Yeah.
with a boost. Yeah. Oh, that's exactly what I wanted to see.
Oh, this boost will kill the power price before other people can tap into this much. NC
Yeah.
is still building a geotherm, and by the time this geotherm finishes, this power will be at 100 or so.
Yeah. Yeah, because we have wind turbines also from Molontal and Racket, although Racket only has the one.
Robotics HQ
Yeah.
has been upgraded.
Yeah, so I like this from Molontal, I like this from Mighty Squirrel. And I think, honestly, ANC could just cancel building these geos at this point.
Yeah, one geo can be
Wait.
cancelled, get 120 steel back, because power is not important anymore.
Yeah, I mean, these are good tiles, but yeah, like you said, they're not a priority anymore. You can get into them at HQ5 instead.
So what's the next market, I believe? Food is good, glass is good, and steel is pretty good, except for scavengers.
Well, my squirrel is choosing to go into the off-world. Might be thinking about... no, he's going into the patent lab and he might be thinking about off-worlds because they look pretty good already and it's only salt free. And
42k launch SO3.
if that's on his mind, he might be wanting to optimize steel production because robots have to pay a ton of steel to be able to go off-world. Oh, he's actually doing the remote electronics.
Congratulations. The patent lab is constructed. Let's get
Okay,
those
let's look at the
things
So
patent.
looking for... He might be going for teleportation then, because of these remote ones. No, superconductor. That's a really good choice.
Yeah.
So what do you think about the remote electronics? Is this... Like I've seen some robots do this, and some robots not do this. What do you think about it?
Well, I'd rather not do it if there's enough space around the base, but given that my Discourse Found is pretty cramped, I am fine with this. This electronics, because it's the colony consumption, this electronics is not going to see much transition. So the loss of time in transition is not going to matter much, and there's no pirate, there's no magnetic storm, so there's no danger of losing values. And as a first player to this patent, maybe Squirrel can take a teleportation as well.
Well, Squirrel and NC are now eyeing the same patent. They both spotted the amazing off-worlds. And Squirrel has an unprotected patent lab, NC has a protected one. They can also both do an adrenaline boost. If nothing happens, Squirrel will get it. If Squirrel is attacked, or if NC is boosted, then NC will get it. So, crucial moment, I would say.
Looks like NC wants a tile instead and goes for an auction tile. I'm curious about it because there's also bribe claim. But NC does get it for 14k debt.
Yeah, but why that tile?
Maybe he wants the core sample. If there is a carbon right there, it's going to be more valuable and people might compete more? I'm not sure.
Okay. That's a solid idea, I guess. Auction tile has a lower cooldown than core sample, and there is the award to keep in mind. Maybe that has something to do with it. But yeah, right now my score 19, 18, 17. Nothing's being done on either front. Of course, NC doesn't know this, that they're going for the same patent.
Oh, Scroll
And
turns
it's
off all the wind turbines. That's an
That's
advanced
definitely
play.
taught at Clippy Academy. That's what Cat did too.
Yeah, although
But
currently the people are making surplus power throughout the board, so it might not come into play for time being.
Yeah. So Malontel find some success in the chemical market. People, I don't know who it was, someone realized it was making way too much money and hit him
I wonder what goes
with an EP. I think this might be one of the cases where people are always afraid the person gets HQ5 first.
Yeah.
But it is a solid hit. Chems are a great market, and I would like to see more people enter.
And Marlonte is buying into Mighty Screw.
Oh,
Screw cannot
This-
defend right now.
that's good work.
And Marlonte is in yeah, he's making money in some markets. Some
Yeah.
markets are poor, some
No, it's
markets are
making a
great.
ton.
Yeah, and if NC comes in help, Mighty Screw will be able to finish this buy.
Oh wait, Squirrel has remote production. He just has to ship, and it's fine.
Oh yeah, that's
So he might not realize it. He might not realize it. We'll see. I'll check for some manual shipping.
Marlonte now is 23k 5 and also one stock right there. So Marlonte can buy into one stock, sell the one stock, and will be able to finish this majority buyout. Scroll shipping comes in, but still does not have enough
No.
money.
He only shipped electronics. He didn't ship chems. Chems are the good one. Ship your
Oh.
chems, Squirrel. Ship your chems.
However, Marlonte is not selling down the third stock, so Mighty Scroll might have enough time for the shipments to come in.
Yeah, they auto ship now. So yeah, as long as he's ready to sell.
Shipment comes in, Scroll has 25k and 26, still 4k short, now 39, should be able to defend.
I don't think he realized. Oh, there we go. He saw it and he was
Yeah.
okay. So Malonte could have finished that really easily by selling out the
Yeah.
third stock he has in himself.
That would have been
But-
the dream of Scavenger, having a HQ5
Oh, yeah.
sub when everyone starts getting HQ5. That's what Scavenger,
Definitely.
the position Scavenger wants to be in.
Yeah. And I do think it was a big mistake to EMP. I don't know, I think he thought it was a magnetic storm because there was an EMP targeted on the Mighty Squirrel when the electronic shipped, but it was targeted like on the edge of the crater, not on any tile that Mighty Squirrel owned, as if it was a magnetic storm. So I think someone might have been confused there.
So I don't like Rantu selling out of Scroll and then getting back into Endgame Wizard, because Endgame Wizard has a stock secured, and having this money tied in the stock means they don't have the money to develop their own base. Like getting into off-road is going to be awkward, and yeah, this is going to take forever to finish the buy. I don't like
Yeah,
this
I don't
play.
like this. I would much rather go into off-roads here.
Yeah, off-road will make solid amount of money.
Yeah. I mean, it's nice. Monotel really showing that he's out-earning all these other players right now. And that enough can be enough to carry him to the win. He's going double optimization centers, so he will earn even more once that gets going.
Yeah,
He has not secured any patents, but you don't need patents to win in this game.
I don't like this optimization center on carbon tiles though. One is fine, but double seems to be under commitment on carbon, because carbon is what you need to build this offer market, and you need 600 of them per offer market. So I'd rather see a transition into optimization center on one water pump and one carbon, so they have enough carbon coming in.
Agreed. We see Mighty Squirrel moving out of his turbines, and power is on a steady incline now.
Yeah, power Mighty Screw consuming 6 power, NC at neutral.
Wow, that's a lot.
Mountain at neutral. So yeah, but Screw is contributing the most in this power price increase.
A robotics HQ has been upgraded.
And he's getting into solar panels.
NC getting away with an adrenaline boost on basically all his tiles,
Mm-hmm.
but there's really the wrong building space there. None of them
Yeah.
earning a ton of money.
This boost.
And maybe that's why it goes unpunished.
Yeah, it's not worth EMPing.
The black market is online.
Okay.
Let the bidding begin.
A lot of boosts happening all over the map. Scroll boosting power. Although, even though Screw is the person who's making most power, Screw was also the only person who was raising power price. So they might just end up getting nothing out of the power play.
The patent lab is ready to begin
Yeah.
research.
And I like doing stuff like this at 12:10. Don't do stuff on the 11th hour in March that requires people's reactions. Because at 12 there will be an auction, and that will give time to look around the map. You should overwhelm them with information after the auction, not before. Because then they're less likely to know what's going on. So, like, such as holograms. Like if you hologram during the auction pass, that's terrible. Do it directly afterwards instead when people are back to focusing on their own game.
So we're
And
seeing...
stock-wise, we see some movement here.
Yeah,
The engineers have advanced our production.
interestingly, Martian
Our
moved out of Mighty Screw and went into NC Game Wizard, but Mighty Screw is going to become a much better potential sub because of this offer market. And then Mighty Screw is going to Locket. However, Locket's base does not seem much profitable. So this sub might not pay off. Locket is also at HQ4, which means
Yeah.
less tiles.
Racket has no optimizations, no advanced buildings at all, no patents, no off-roads.
Yeah, I'd
So in
rather
terms of earning potential, he's the bottom.
I'd rather see Mighty Screw buy into their own stock and potentially go into empty stock on Malontel.
Yeah, agreed. So it's important because of the ordering. Like if you buy your own stock first, you pay less for it. Now Mighty Squirrel's price is inflated, so if he now buys into himself, he would pay more than if he did it the other way around.
This game,
And now he's paying double price. I don't like this. Never buy the defended stock. I mean, I was fine with. I didn't love it, but it's not terrible until he buys the double price stock. Now he deleted money from the game, and he didn't do it on his most dangerous opponent.
The off-world market is finished and awaiting orders.
But there we go.
Advanced our production.
First launch is Oxygen launch, and it earned him a ton of money, and it hasn't gotten a lot of attention from the others. There's no real goon poppers. You have to sacrifice a dynamite or a mutiny to do it. I guess dynamite is okay. Goon popper if you don't have an off-world of your own.
and because this price, mutiny price is still cheap, and Goon is affordable for 1 or 2, we might see some mutiny Goon plays that we are excited to see.
Dirty rat trying to break our stuff.
Yeah. There we go. Malonte popping the first goon with the dynamite. And Mad Squirrel spent 50k to re-goon it. So yeah, basically Malonte spent 3k to force him to spend 50k. That's really good for Malonte.
Yeah, that's good exchange.
Yeah. And as for earning, Mad Squirrel is actually doing okay. He has these remote chem refineries, but now there's teleportation, there's no delay in getting them, and they're earning nice amounts of money. And of course this off-world. We also see NC Game Wizard and Malontel each going into their own off-worlds, and I think maybe the winner here is the one
Surprised, just
either who does well on the black market or the first player to get 2 off-worlds.
Yeah. And speaking of 2 offers, still being at 67, and Scavenger being Scavenger, everybody has a chance to build. Although you have for steel user, they have to be first to build it because that will spike the price and make the other player awkward to build their own off-road.
I will say, of course, Malontelus is really vulnerable to black market.
Yeah.
Mad Squirrel is the one with the thinking machines after all.
So speaking of being the first to build off-road, it also means that they will be the first to get dynamited. We will see about that.
Yeah. Well, at this point, I really favor Mighty Squirrel, even though we went
Yeah.
for Racket.
Not only that Mighty Scroll is the first to get into 2 off-road, Scroll is also the person with thinking machine, so even if this gets black markets, it's not going to hurt as much.
Yeah. And NC, ever since he got targeted by Marlantel, has really fiercely attacked him with the black market.
Yeah.
We see several EMPs, we see dynamites, and
Though I would like
yeah,
to
Mighty Squirrel is
point
just out earning them.
I would like to point out that Mighty Scroll has decided to build an off-road market under the goon which used to be a wind turbine house, but this makes it awkward for double black magic reactors, which is not going to produce much oxygen, which turns out to be a great launch. So I don't like this placement. Although it is under the goon, it hurts the production so much that you might want to avoid it.
Well, I don't mind it. Because you don't have to have a reactor there, you just delete it and place your optimization center there.
Having a third optimization center?
Well, you can scrap the other 2.
Yeah,
Although
that
steel
can
is
work.
expensive. Well, yeah, I guess the other 2 does make it awkward.
Yeah.
But yeah, you should definitely like rearrange his southern tiles. Give a neighbor to that one reactor.
If the rearrangement happens, I think it will be great to see Alpha Market and 2 farms, because food is one of the launches, and boost market increases food consumption, and you get more food out of the boost as well.
You could also just buy this 30k claim to give the above lonely tile a neighbor.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's out earning everyone by a ton. He has to buy on Racket now, and he won't earn him much. He'll get stuck in himself for free because Racket buys into him.
Yeah.
And he doesn't need some money. The money he's already making is enough. So I really favor Max Squirrel in the future of this game. And optimization wise, we see NC went for perfect electronics and then he scrapped out of the optimizations. And that has really led to him completely killing the price of it. And now not having the optimizations in food and oxygen, which is the great markets now because they're the launches. So yeah, I think prematurely scrapping out of the optimization center was the problem there. Malontel does have perfect oxygen, which I love, but he has the problem that he's way too vulnerable to the black market.
Yeah, and also Malanta is not rebuilding this offer market. Although there are dynamites coming down, this rebuild has to happen because it's so much money lost. A repair is going to cost around 18k and a launch is 59k. This rebuild is worth it.
Yeah, that's true. And I think what the issue is for him, he's worried about the carbon. And that comes down to the placement of whatever it was he placed.
Optimization
right now
center.
he has an optimization center there, yeah. Yeah, you really need a neighbor for this high carbon.
Yeah.
I don't, maybe that's not what he's thinking, but it's an issue. He also seems to have a lone chem refiner in there.
Yeah, these 2
But yeah,
players.
Magic Squirrel didn't, so I think it doesn't matter, but so he finished the buy on Racket and then he bought 2 into himself. And of course spent 20k more than if he bought 2 into himself and then bought Racket. Very minor detail, and he's still crushing this game.
So these 2 players being locked out on this black market battle is going to benefit Mighty Scroll, giving them time to build up this money for time when other players finish their buy.
Definitely. For NC Gamers, remember that he was like 4 seconds behind and had the opportunity to like guarantee his thinking machines with a boost, but chose not to. I think he's really regretting that now.
We have an
Thinking machines would be strong.
odd mutiny from NC on Malontel's greenhouse farm. I don't think this is a good mutiny, although there's not much good mutiny tile to take because this offer market has been destroyed forever.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So Magic Squirrel is just sitting there smiling. Oh, he's not launching? Magic Squirrel needs to auto launch more. By the way, wow, have you seen the current profits on the launches? This is disgusting. This is some of the most profitable launches we've seen this tournament. And Magic Squirrel just having 2 of them, so unstopped, is earning so much.
Yeah.
1100 a second, according to the X key.
Why is Maranto not fixing this offer? Maybe he forgot about it.
The black market is open for business.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. So I will say, well, this. I mean, I can see the fire right in front of his base. Probably hasn't. I will say people often do forget to repair remote tiles, especially after an IO quake on IO. And one of the UI elements I like to keep an eye on to prevent stuff like that is just the top of the screen. If you see something red there, you need to do something about it. And wow, NC Gamer keeps just blindly throwing black market onto its aggressive.
Yeah. I don't think it's... it doesn't look like hunting for offer because there's no hologram on the market. If there was a hologram on the market, they might be looking for those hidden offer, but it's not the case in this game.
He might just be feeling, oh, you attacked me, I'm gonna attack you back. I don't really know how to hurt you the most.
Yeah. So Scroll already having almost 500k stockpiled. When Malonte finishes the buy on NC Gaming Wizard, but Scroll will be ahead in 500k and they'll be have around the same stock price and 0 money on Malonte.
Yeah. Magic Squirrel is sitting here wondering, what can I do now? Look at this dead market. I think one thing you can consider, I mean, this is not really good advice because it's so specific. But what he could do is just sell down steel a ton to allow his sub to build an off-worlds for him.
So interestingly, Mighty Scroll has been buying Goon Squad and it's bought 110k Goon Squad. And at this pace, it'll be a very good idea to keep popping this Goon if Mighty Scroll keeps buying this expensive Goon.
Yeah. Wait, how did NC get the buy? I guess the launch finished, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it doesn't matter. Mighty Scroll is so rich.
Yeah. NC can't overcome this price. The 2 players were locked out in the battle so long and they did not pull out of the battle.
Yeah. Well, there was obviously a time. First of all, Malonte should have had his game ages ago because of the majority buy that they missed out on. But there might have been a time where they pulled out of each other when they stopped trying to attack each other and instead focused their target on Magic Squirrel together. They might have been able to stop him even through the fake machines. Because he has fake machines, but dynamites were 3k and mutinies were 3k. And fake machines doesn't make you invulnerable. But yeah, they saw red, attacked each other.
I wonder if Mighty Scroll is going to get 170k Goon to protect this off-road.
Well, he should buy it and go for the award.
Maybe.
Our methods continue to improve.
He has mutiny stored up.
So Scroll has 170k in stock. We'll see. Scroll now.
Yeah, well, NC will have to finish repairing his off-world market. Because if Magic Scroll was looking to end it, you could do it right now by selling out his stock.
Yeah. Scroll now is 200k.
Not everyone does do that.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. I would go for it. Oh, he goes for Milan. Yeah, that's just no mutiny go.
Yeah.
Alright, so we're trying to end it.
The other Goon has been popped. And...
Yeah, there we go. You can see it. Okay, Magic Squirrel takes it, and I once again forgot how to look who bought the most black market.
Let's check all the replays. Speaking of replay, I should save it. Was it the game number 5? So I should have all the replays.
Yeah, hopefully.